We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the October rendition of Hawks on Deck. Again, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Noah Carrero. I'm the Director of Baseball Operations for the Illinois Hawks. I'm going to apologize in advance for my voice. I'm getting over a head cold at the moment and did a fair bit of shouting yesterday at training. So if I sound a little weird, that is why. So I appreciate your understanding as we kick off our session today. We've got a few items on the agenda. We'll do some organizational-wide updates, some preview of upcoming events. We'll wrap things up with welcoming a couple of new key additions to our coaching staff and a couple of project updates that we have in the pipeline. So without further ado, we'll get this show on the road. So first thing I want to address is the bathroom renovation, which started last week. We're very excited to be getting an upgrade in terms of the facility, something that's been, I think, needed ever since we took over. A quick synopsis of the project is they're basically tearing everything out of both bathrooms and removing the radiant heat from the flooring. We'll be basically switching the layout of the men's and the women's bathrooms, so the men's will be closer to the door and the women's will be further away. The layout is to optimize for usage and to be able to expand the men's bathrooms a little bit. The women's bathroom is going to stay the exact same size in terms of the amount of facilities available. The men's is going to add a couple of extra items, but that is where we currently stand at the moment there. We're hoping to have that completed by the end of November at the latest. Might be before Thanksgiving. That would be my hope, is we have it all squared away before Thanksgiving. So while that's in progress, we have the two portable facilities by door number 2. So that's on the north side of the dome for people to use while the other restrooms are out of order. So we appreciate your patience as we continue to upgrade the facility. Also, in terms of upgrades, we have new equipment that's been delivered to the dome in recent weeks. You may have seen the post on social media about the new plyo wall. We'll have decals going up on that probably next week, so not this week, but next week. And then we'll redo the Hawks logo on the existing plyo wall. So the vision is to have one plyo wall for each end of the dome. So when we run team practices, we'll be able to have one on each side instead of multiple teams fighting over the same plyo wall. Because with the new warm-up protocol we're looking to implement for the organization, those are going to be in high demand, so we want to make sure that we're providing our coaching staff the tools necessary to be able to accomplish the work that we're asking them to do. So very, very excited. Huge shout out to Chad Taylor and his family for graciously helping us build and transport the new plyo wall. And that's hopefully turned into a little bit of a side business for him, as I know he's had a couple of other organizations and high schools ask him for quotes on a similar build, so very excited for him on that side of things. We also got in 12 new 20-foot by 10-foot nets that we're going to use to divide the facility during team practices. We have established a diagram for storing all of that. We also have 2 new pitcher 9-pocket nets that are in the process of being constructed. So those will replace the one that we had before. I think we're going to try to repair the other one. Robert is doing a great job trying to get that back in order. But even if we don't, we'll still have 2 of those. So again, one for each side of the facility for players and instructors to use. With that said, I'm going to quickly throw up on the screen what that diagram is going to look like, so that you guys can have an idea of what I'm talking about in terms of storage. And this is something that's going to be shared out with our coaches here shortly. But you'll see on my screen a diagram of the facility, fields 1 and 2, along with the north and south field. Again, this is looking at the field as if the concourse and the shed is in the bottom left-hand corner, and then the green wall is at the top of the screen. So you're working in that direction in terms of orientation of this diagram. So you'll see each side of the dome has places to store nets on either corner, basically. You'll have the new plyo walls. One will be by the exit door by the green wall, and then you'll have another one down here next to the goal and the nets. We currently have 3 mounds. We're working on resurfacing those mounds as well, so we'll have new turf on those by 2026. So very excited to have not only re-turfed mounds, but it's actually going to be turf. It's not going to be carpet. It is going to be actual turf. We've paid a lot of money for, so we want to keep it as nice as possible for as long as we can. So we're going to have 2 mounds on one side and then another mound on the other side. We're looking to possibly add a 4th mound. We are selling off some old equipment and hopefully going to use the funds to build a 4th mound. So we'll have 2 mounds for each side of the facility. And then we have an area for storing the hack attack machines that our coaches use during practice. And then we want to organize where player bags go during team practices, so we're having those laid out as well. And then new this year is we'll have 2 pitching lanes set up in the middle of the field to help accommodate the pitching needs of our teams, both baseball and softball. I closed out of my other image, but I'll just show you here. So this image shows a little bit more clearly what that setup would look like when we have those pitching lanes in use. So we'll use the red dividing nets to basically cut the field in half with about 20 feet in between each segment of red nets. And we'll have a mound on each side, plyo wall on each side, and then the pitchers throwing down towards the middle of the facility here. So that is our vision to help optimize how we develop our pitchers, because I think that's been an area where we've struggled in the past, just simply because we either have to take field time to have pitchers throw bullpens, or when we're in the cages and coaches want to go live, there's not a place where pitchers can warm up or do band work, plyo work, sprints, mobility, etc., etc. So being able to round out that offering that we have is something that was a high priority for me. And then we'll have another segment of space. So especially our high school teams that have larger rosters, we're not trying to shove 14 to 16 players into cages. There will be area that they can use, whether it's for pitching or for something else. But again, basically 100-foot by 12-foot roughly space that they'll be able to get work in while they're in the cages. So very excited to utilize that. We're going to revamp our practice plans to accommodate this new space orientation. So more to come on that topic in the future. Let's take that off the screen. Okay, so that is all the equipment updates that I have for the facility at this time. Biggest topic, I'd say, in the the immediate future here is uniform fittings tomorrow. So we'll have staff from Sports Huddle on site from 4:30 p.m. until 8 p.m. at the Dome. You want to make every effort to make it to the facility within that time frame. We have, for logistical reasons, assigned each team a specific slot within that window so that we don't have 100 people in the parking lot trying to park and creating an absolute nightmare for everybody going in and out, because there will still be soccer going on and there will still be a couple of softball practices happening during this time. So please try to attend your team's time if all possible, but if you cannot attend, please at least get to the facility at some point in that time frame. If you are completely unable to make it to uniform fittings, then you need to please contact your coach or me as soon as possible so that we can schedule an alternate time for you to go to Sports Huddle to conduct the try-on process. All of the uniform orders, as our returners will be familiar, are all done via phone. You'll scan a QR code when you enter the facility. It'll have the list of all the items that you'll be receiving as part of your uniform package. You'll go around to the various tables that are on field 1, and at each table there will be items for your player to try on. So there will be pants, there will be jerseys, there will be helmets, hats, etc., etc. I would highly recommend that your player wear shorts so that they can just try on the pants over their shorts instead of having to take the gear somewhere else and try it on. That really slows things down because Sports Huddle only really brings two of everything. So when we have a lot of players to get through, so please have them have shorts so that you can just try the pants on, take them off, and move about your day. If you want a catcher's bag, by default, as a new player, you get a normal player bag, but you have the opportunity to upcharge to a catcher's bag. I believe the upcharge is $70. I'm going to confirm with Sports Huddle tomorrow. But just reach out to your coach, say, hey, we want to upcharge for a catcher's bag. The coaches are then going to turn in a list to Ben and myself, and then we will change manually in the background the type of bag that you receive. That has been the process in past years. That's the assumption we're going on, unless Sports Huddle tells us otherwise tomorrow. But from what I've heard, that's going to continue to be the process if you want a catcher's bag. Other than that, the only other upcharge that you might have is for more fitted pants. If you want fitted pants, because it's basically open, you've got elastic, and then you have the more fitted option. I believe that's a $10 upcharge for the more fitted pants. So just be aware of that, but everything else is included in your fee. Again, new players, you're getting a helmet and a bag, whereas returners are not. If you're a returner and need a helmet or a bag, please let us know, and we can figure that out for you. Okay, I believe I have something in the chat here. Let me see. Yes, I haven't been told a time to be there. Do you have a list by chance? Yes, Angel, I do have that list in front of me. Just give me one moment to pull that up. Here we go. Okay, and let me share. Boom. Okay, so here is the list of time slots for tomorrow. So 15U Gray. You might not be on here, unfortunately. Oh no, here you are. 15U Navarro. So that would be 6:15. Is ideally when you would arrive. But again, not a huge deal if you're plus or minus that a little bit. But again, we just want to try to make sure the logistics are taken care of. Good. Okay. So next item I have on the agenda is for Blast Motion. You all would have seen the email go out for Blast Motion last week, I think was the reminder email. I will be putting official registration on the website this weekend, so if you did have interest, we will be opening orders for that this weekend. We'll open that up for 2 weeks, and then we submit the bulk order to Blast Motion, and then we are able to get the discounted pricing for everybody. And then once the order is delivered to my residence, then I will schedule a day at the Dome to be able to distribute all of the hardware. If you're just getting a subscription to Blast Motion Premium, that will be available right at the closing deadline. We'll shift all of those over and get email invites out to everyone who has a premium subscription. But hardware will all be distributed by me at the Dome at some later date. Angel, yes, if you can arrive at 4:30, you're more than welcome to. That slot is open on purpose for people that need to go early, and I left the end slots open late at night in case people need to go then. So more than welcome to arrive right at 4:30. So if you're interested in Blast Motion, again, the sensor itself is $100, and then the premium subscription for the year is $60. So again, that email should go out this weekend. Over the past couple of weeks, we've welcomed a few new coaches to the program. For 16U White, we have welcomed Oliver Clemens as an assistant coach for that team. Oliver is a former catcher at Lake Park University, played his high school ball at Oswego High School, which, again, is near and dear to my heart as a lifelong Oswego guy. So we're very honored to have him in the program. He had Coach Alex Hales, who is our recruiting coordinator and also one of the principals at Mission 360 as his high school coach. So again, understands the culture we're trying to build, the philosophies we're trying to espouse to our players, and will be a great addition to Chris Chaputis, who's the head coach of that team. So if you see Oliver around the facility, please give him a warm welcome. As of tonight, we are also welcoming Fabian as an assistant coach, a volunteer assistant coach for 15U Gray. That paperwork is going to be finalized this weekend, so more to come on him. But obviously, since I probably won't talk to you guys again for a month, I wanted to get that out there so that you know that we have new people coming and joining the staff. So very, very exciting stuff on that side of the world. And I guess to wrap things up for today, I don't have a whole lot else other than a couple of reminders at the very end, but a couple of project updates I wanted to share with you all that we're undertaking to completely reimagine the player development process for the off season and how we integrate that then into our team practices, because we've had feedback in the past that the off season can be a bit difficult to manage for players playing other sports. You've got some people that want more of an individual style of instruction as opposed to the group style. So we're working on finding a happy medium between, say, a model like an ESP, where you basically just get private lessons, and then the model that we have, which is only one group training option available during the off season. There are other things that I'm looking to implement as part of this, including periodic assessments of players, tech tools that help support player development, because right now our platform is just basically a website and registration, but I need a place to be able to store player data. I want more robust player profiles for all of our athletes. Would love to eventually integrate AI in terms of being able to action data, build programs, both weight room and skill programs, facilitate communication with athletes through the profiles, et cetera, et cetera. So that is going to be a long-term process. We are just on the beginning phase of the RFP for those technology platforms. We're looking to select a vendor, hopefully by the end of Q1 next year, and then implementation in Q2 so that we can have signups ready to rock for 2026-27 tryouts. So lots of exciting things there. Not a whole lot that I can share on the specifics, but just know that this is something that, as a former Hawk player, just a former collegiate athlete in general, is something that I've wanted to see. I wish I had access to when I was a player, so I want to build this for the organization, as I think it will help push us forward, give us data to help tailor our training programs to the needs of our athletes, and then help empower our staff to really take hold of the development of each of their players, instead of having to coach to the lowest common denominator, which is pretty frequent, not just here, but any coaching job, any sport. We want to try to help players, empower them to take control of their development and give our staff the tools to be able to scale their time more effectively. Because as someone who's in the middle of writing 4 programs right now for 4 of the guys on my team, it's a very time-consuming process. And if I can automate that as much as I can while still making sure it's effective, all the better. So with that, I think that's pretty much everything. A couple of quick reminders. We are halfway through Mission 360 trainings. This is currently week 5. Week 6 starts on Sunday. So it's all flying by. Really appreciate everyone's participation. I know that football's over. I'd love to see the groups getting larger and larger. So very excited to close out strong in the next 5 weeks. At the conclusion of the program, I will be sending out a survey to everyone about feedback for the program that will again influence kind of my thought process in reimagining the off-season piece of the program. So please feel free to be candid, or if you see me around the facility, please say hi, grab me, and share some feedback in that forum. Again, we are all ears and leaving no stone unturned because we have one chance to get this right. We want to make sure that it's a great experience for everybody, when we do make improvements. But other than that, I'll give you guys a couple of minutes here in the chat if you have any questions for me, either about anything you've heard tonight, your experience so far in the Hawks program. I will stay on here till about 7:25 to see if there are any questions. But otherwise, thanks for your time today. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your Halloween. Stay safe out there. And we will talk to you again here in November.